Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Beautiful people. Hello, hello,
Mm.
hello.
It is your country boy,
And your city girl.
Eric and Elaine,
Yes.
your relationship architects.
That's
All
who we
right.
are.
Yeah.
Your
That's what
relationship
they told us.
educators.
That's what they told us.
Somebody did deem us, call us that.
Call
Right?
us the
Yeah.
relationship architects.
Yes.
Look, we're glad to be here. We're only on YouTube, so any of your friends who might have wanted to check us out on Facebook, we are now only on YouTube. So
Yes.
Get me right, baby. Get me right. Am I right? You got me right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yes.
Yes. So of course, like Eric said, we're excited. As usual, we're thrilled. This is another Thursday evening. Y'all, are these weeks passing by?
Passing by.
Are they flying
so fast?
Like it's just like, we're already only days from November 1st. Okay, you didn't have to go there.
No, because that's what they say about older folks. Older folks feel like the time is going by real quick. That
is a little true. But yeah, you know how it is when you're young. You think, you're like, I can't wait to turn 10. I can't wait to turn 15.
Turn this, turn that.
I can't wait to turn, yes. And then when you reach 30, somehow we stop wishing.
You could always tell on social media when a woman is beyond 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How?
Because they don't, well, no, not social media, on Facebook.
Okay.
Because they stopped sharing the year.
What we say?
If you ever pay attention to the when you send the happy birthday messages, you see numbers beside people that's in their 20s. By the time they're 30 something, it's gone.
I don't know why you hating on the women.
I'm just saying, dudes don't do that.
Y'all don't?
Dudes don't typically do that.
Well, I'll pay a little more attention. I will.
Why?
But anyway, we're not gonna make this about us.
It's about to be some miscommunication up in here.
We're marrying. We do that quite often. But listen, thank you for stopping in. If you are joining us, we want to say hello, beautiful people.
Yes.
As Eric said, y'all know what to do. Come on, do your thing. Go ahead and send this to some family, send this to some friends, tell them to join in. And if not, of course, still tell them to come back, join in.
Get the replay.
Watch us later.
Hit that like, cultivate that share button, and hit the subscribe.
Yeah.
Right? And hit the notification bell.
Yes. Because you want all the notifications of what we're doing, because we do have some exciting things coming up.
Yes. And we want you to be a part of it.
We do want you to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. And so 2022 is right around the corner, and it's a whole lot of people that have been asking us for quite some time for some attention.
Yes.
And I think it's time.
Yes. Now we about to hit them singles. You talking about the singles?
I am.
Yes.
Of course I am.
We fixing to hit them singles. You like, what in the world this married couple got to do anything with singles? We got a lot to do with singles because we were there once before, right? We were there once before.
Yes.
So, and we know some of the things working with singles. We've seen some of the things, but we're gonna hear from you. We're gonna see how we can best serve you. It's like a person who is who wants to be a millionaire, telling a millionaire, man, you don't understand being broke. You don't understand not being a millionaire, how to make a start from nothing. What?
Right. Yeah. How dare you? Do that. Right. So that's what we're doing, is we're actually going back to pull out some of our experiences, because y'all know how we do. We really talk about from things from our experience, observation, and research. And so we're going to be enlightening our singles. It is time. We see a whole lot that's going on. We see the stressors, and we want to give some insight. We want to give some wisdom.
And listen, you single people, if you hadn't been to the website, ericandelaine.com, go to the website. Yes. ericandelaine.com, get that individual coaching, or either get you some the mentorship or whatnot.
Yes.
Get that, go in there, because we're going to go into the past.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to deal with the present, and we're going into the future. Because if you
Yes.
don't have a vision, if you don't have a mission statement, if you don't know,
You telling the peoples.
okay,
You telling the peoples.
you got to cultivate that.
Go to
airgainlane.com, set up your schedule and everything. And before we even get started, look, because we're gonna start with something funny real quick.
Yes.
Talking about miscommunication.
Here's how we do it.
Yes.
Go get your nice little glass. Come on, baby.
Yes.
Get your nice little glass of water, tea, whatever you do, how you do what you do.
And this ain't vodka.
It's
Moonshine.
clear, but it ain't okay. Shh. No, it's all good. That's good. Water, H2O.
Yes.
But yes, so of course, we're going in tonight with another hot topic that's simply on some of the things that happen so often in relationships.
Yes.
And that is
miscommunication.
Miscommunication. And I think the first three letters of that word really says a whole lot about the rest of the word, because we're missing it, right? So we're missing certain things that are important when you are communicating.
Right.
And that's how we have arguments. That's how we have fights. That's how things end up going south, as they say, and your whole night is ruined simply because of something that has been miscommunicated.
Yes.
So
and misunderstood. Just easy to misunderstand somebody. Yeah. I mean, as complicated as women are.
See.
Woo! Hey, all right. So we're gonna look at this. We're gonna check out this video right quick. Forgive the quality of the video. I was looking for these videos where they were way, better as far as the quality, but nevertheless, if you can't, I want to make sure that you guys can hear it. I tried to share the sound and everything. But, we'll play these right quick. Check this out. How things can get misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all, hold on real quick.
Hopefully that has never happened to anyone on here.
Yes. Let me see. I remember what I need to do to make sure that I'm sharing the screen. I'm sharing it.
Because see, if y'all can't see it, y'all can't get the message. So we got to make sure you can see these videos that we're sharing on tonight about our topic of miscommunication.
Yes.
The topic that happens so often in every relationship, because it's not just with our affectionate relationships, right?
No, it's in all relationships.
We're
gonna stay in the
we're gonna stay in the realm.
We're gonna stay in the realm of healthy relationships, especially for you single people, because you're gonna meet folks that are different than you. They come from different places. I used to say a lot of time in different churches to singles, like, some of y'all are afraid to start that business. You're afraid to do this, or afraid to do that, and your partner is on the other side of you doing that particular thing. Right? You're trying to, we constantly picking from low-hanging fruit. I ain't gonna get into it yet. I want y'all to see the rest of these videos. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, we say we can't hear the video.
No,
Man.
on Instagram.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing that. But anyway, all right. That is funny. That is so funny.
We love those videos.
Yes.
Because
yes.
they are hilarious and they really bring to light this very topic. So we saw a lot of mishaps, right?
Yes.
And the timing, I think the timing was so wrong. The timing was off. And we all have been there. If you have been there,
oh, wow.
you are much like us.
Yeah.
Right? You have had something to happen where you have said something and it did not go over well.
Yes.
Or maybe sometimes it's how a person may hear something that was said and it's how they interpret it,
Mm-hmm.
right? That can also be a factor in the miscommunication. But we've all been there. I know I have.
Yes.
Have you been there, Eric?
Yes.
Have you been there today? Okay. Okay, so
Been there recently, which is why we're talking about this. Right?
listen, we told y'all we live this material. We do.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
experience, observation, and research.
Yes. So look, it could be, there are a lot of factors. We already talk about active listening and everything. And even with all of those tools, active listening and doing your best to, after a while, you feel like your partner should know you.
Mm. Yeah.
In our book, we talk about remove this from your vocabulary.
Yes.
You should know this.
You should know this.
Ugh. The song "If You Don't Know Me by Now, Then You'll Never." Don't believe it.
Don't believe that.
Don't believe it. Look, because as we saw in those videos, there was different things that happened that it just looked wrong. And besides just what we see and the body language that's being communicated, we have situations where we can say something and it sounds like, matter of fact, right before we started.
I was just about to go to that.
Go ahead.
So what had happened was, right before we started.
The way you're saying this, it sounds like you're making like you're innocent in the matter.
Well, I mean, okay, anyway, just let me tell the story. So, but what had happened was, one of our daughters brought my phone, and so she had opened up Instagram. Hello, Instagram. Hey, Graham.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Instagram family, YouTube family. Oh, yeah.
Listen, so when she opened up my Instagram, there was a picture of this woman, beautiful woman. And she had this beautiful dress on that was, revealing. Okay.
I think it's Thanksgiving because she had all the ham out, the dressing was out.
Really?
I'm just saying.
Okay, so that's a man's point of view. But anyway, she looked beautiful. But my husband says, "Who is this?"
So that's how she heard it. And as my daughters can testify.
Instagram, y'all see my face.
That's not how
Twist my.
I said that. That's not how I said.
He said, "Who is this?" And so
see, you see all of that.
Listen, when he saw the picture of the beautiful woman that was scantily dressed, he commented. Okay. Let me just say that's how I heard it. Okay, can I say that? That's how I heard it. I heard it like, ooh, who is this? And then, I say that because then he tried to cover it up by saying, who put a picture of my wife in here?
No, I say, how they getting your pictures?
Yeah.
So no, there was no cover up.
Okay.
There was no cover up, and my children can testify.
They did come to your defense.
They sure did, because and especially Evan. Evan don't play. She come out with the guns blazing, the mace.
You have several juniors around here, female juniors, and they come to your defense.
Yeah, because I say this, they'll stick with truth.
Oh,
they say they ain't got no size. Yes, I said they say they ain't got no size.
See,
right.
But anyway, to the point, of course, we kind of chuckled about it. We were like, wow, this is how it happens, right? It happens so easily. I heard him say that in a way that made me feel like, oh, so you like the way she looked. You like this woman, right? But he was not, or he say.
How did I really say it?
He says that's not how he was saying it. That's how I heard it. And you say how you said it. Tell the peoples.
Who is that? Is that correct?
It is.
Evan? I got a witness in the building.
Yes, sir. It is.
I was surprised that all of this was on my wife's phone. And it was Essence. She was subscribed to Essence magazine. And they had this sister out there with the ham, the dressing. I think I saw some cranberry sauce. Oh no, not cranberry sauce. Oh my God.
No.
Miscommunication.
Okay. Anyway,
so I was saying, hey, Leandro, what's going on? All the way from Brazil.
Leandro.
And I'm sure his lovely wife is beside him.
Yes.
How are you guys doing?
Beautiful people from Brazil. That's our family, y'all.
Yes. So that's how I said it, because I wasn't expecting to see this on my wife's phone. I was getting prepared for our Instagram family. And here we go, sister girl.
Okay. So
what you? I'm glad
that's how I heard it.
Okay,
and I think that's the problem many times, right? Is to that point, like what we're saying is many times in couples relationships, we are oftentimes hearing from a place of the way we may receive the information, right, can be misconstrued by a personal feeling.
Yeah.
Right. It could be, or past, right? Or just like I may not have been feeling like, I'm looking as good as she looking. So that's a personal thing, right?
So then that's why I dropped that. What they doing with your photos? What they doing with your pictures?
Oh, okay. That's how
I work that.
Okay.
Wow, chicken, wow.
Okay.
That's how I did that.
All right, Mr.
So
Johnson.
yes.
Okay.
So in there's your upbringing, where you came from, how your family functioned, or even some past. And we'll talk about letting go of the past.
Yeah.
In upcoming lives, but yes, it is interesting on how in the world things can get out of hand, and we react. That's the other thing we do.
That's right.
We react rather than respond.
That is so true. And we can continue a negative cycle of communication. Right. When we, continue to choose those ways of reacting. Right. And I say choose, maybe that, if you may agree, you may not agree, but sometimes we choose how, we're actually going to view a situation, because there is something that's called assuming goodwill. So even if I heard, because I'm in my feelings about something or what have you, I may be feeling like I'm not, looking like the woman was in the picture, and so I may be projecting that feeling onto you, right, and to your comment. But it does not mean that that's exactly what you meant. But that's the negativity that goes on within us.
Right. And we talked about that in comparison. Yeah, we talked about that in comparison.
That is so true.
About how
yeah.
you can have this comparison, and
Yeah.
I'm just saying by observation,
Mhm.
ladies compare themselves to other women all the time.
That is true. We are guilty of that.
What do you ask me? These are some things. This is something that, ladies, this is something that you should never ask your husband. You should never ask your man. What do you ask me?
What
You know,
is this? What is this?
was I?
Okay, so ladies, y'all know how sometimes okay, so sometimes I ask you, was I that size? Like if there's a woman, I'm like, because y'all know what happens, like, when you're young, you have the young frame, right? You have the little waist and all that. And in life, sometimes after having a couple of children or what have you, just keep living. Things may, I think we just get, bigger bones.
Okay, it's the bones.
It's the bones.
I'll go with the bones.
Okay, so we get bigger bones. Our bones get solidified, right? And so we may look a little more juicy, in certain areas,
Bones and juice. Bones and juice.
Bones and juice. Anyway, so we may, there are certain things that we feel like I used to be that size. And so we may question. I am guilty of that.
So don't ever ask your man that.
I just
don't
think,
ask him.
No, I think that
because you're gonna have a miscommunication. It's gonna be something.
But I think that there's a level of honesty in relationships. Like you can be able to say, babe, you're beautiful, but you're not that size anymore.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean, I think that it can make the relationship even closer because you're actually being, as the young people call it, 100. So be 100. Say it. Like,
No.
We know it, you know it, but just still say, but you're beautiful.
Be 100% careful not to say anything regarding that. Okay. So anyway, some things about miscommunication. So you've been in a relationship for a while. You've been there. We talked about reacting rather than responding.
Responding rather than reacting.
No, they're reacting rather than responding.
Yeah, but that's what they shouldn't be doing. But yes, you're right. I see how you're saying.
Yeah. See.
See how this happens.
See, that's how you got to work it out.
See, y'all just bringing all this out.
And be patient. And be patient with the person who's wrong. Okay. And that's how you don't do it right there. So the person who's wrong, you make it about wrong and right.
Hello.
America, don't make it about right and wrong.
Okay, but it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It does, and it really does happen, and it really does create. Sometimes it can create certain intense moments of fellowship, as they call it, meaning
makeup.
Things get heated, right? Mm-hmm. And so it'll spark an argument real quick, and your whole night is ruined, right?
Right.
And so this is something that we are all guilty of, either miscommunicating or like misspeaking, not being clear. And we're going into some of the things that happen, right? Sometimes we're just not clear with what we're saying, and our message may not be clear, and then sometimes it's just not being, it's not going over well.
Yeah, and sometimes these may be some habits. For instance, I have a habit of saying whatchamacallit, this and that, this right here.
Yeah.
Give me this, and I'm pointing.
Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me.
So
whatchamacallit?
What would you would say something to me a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Use your words. Now, some would feel, is that that's derogatory? No, that's not. She's not being derogatory. I know I had this habit. Let me just be humble and do like she's saying and stop, because I be running. Mm-hmm. I run and I go and I and that's where she's being the aider, the help, mm-hmm. and helping me. Hey, do this. It's not derogatory.
Yeah.
So we have that shared meaning already.
Right.
Okay. So but it can happen at different times.
Mm-hmm. And it's important to be able to be accountable to one another,
Mm-hmm.
So that, because you help me just like I help you,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain things that we say to each other
Mm-hmm.
that we know this is because we've been down this road enough,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how sometimes, like what Eric said, we have to be patient with each other. We have to be patient with ourselves because we're still growing in our relationship. Right? We're still growing in life. We're changing all the time. And so, yes, be patient enough to say, okay, this is something that, I'm going to help you with. And so this is when you say that, I'll say this, have code words or what have you. And yes, that was something that I just like, okay, babe, use your words. I don't know what a whatchamacallit is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what a thingamajig or a thingamajigga thingamajigga Z. I don't know that. I don't speak that.
Who the
whataki. See, and I'm not talking about the beautiful, wonderful person in your life that
she might not be on right now. That
everybody
that was on
may
Facebook
have handed that down to you. I'm not talking about
yes, you
about
are.
her. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I am simply saying that we do have to be clear when we are communicating, and that's some of the things that we're going to share with you, like tools. How can we keep miscommunication?
Well, we got two tools out the box.
Okay.
What you just said, be patient.
That's right.
You said, don't worry about being right. Stop trying to be,
that's true.
This is how to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Just recap.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have a conversation. It's a conversation. All right. And then we said, choose to respond rather than react.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, hey, just next thing, laugh about it.
Don't take yourself or the relationship so serious.
Don't take yourself so serious, because you take yourself too serious, after a while, people won't. Nobody else will.
That's true. And bottom line, we have to really make sure that we're listening and not just hearing, but we're actually listening to each other. So being able to express clearly what it is that you're trying to say and what you're trying to, actually communicate to your spouse.
Yeah, because, media has made miscommunication one of its staples in comedies.
Yeah.
Made it like it's cute, and you try to do that in real life, and it's not.
It doesn't work.
It's not cute.
Yeah, we'll tell you, it does not work.
It doesn't work if you don't, take the time, take some of these tools. We'll be sharing more in intensives that we'll be having soon. There was a show. I'm dating myself. There was a show called Three's Company. Okay, I was a kid then. But Three's Company, the entire premise of the show was miscommunication. Somebody heard something they weren't supposed to hear, or somebody said something they were thinking they were thinking one way.
Yeah.
So they misapplied what they thought with what they heard, and it's a complex web that we weave when we don't take the time to seek first to understand and then to be understood.
Yes.
To take that from the late Stephen Covey.
Absolutely. And you said something too, because some of those things that we've seen, exemplified about relationships and communication on television, in the media, right? We think that, in 22 minutes, everything is solved.
Yeah, everything's solved, and they go to the next episode.
Yeah, everything is fixed. Like you have a wonderful, ending, right? And when miscommunication happens, many times it lingers, right? Because if it's something that we are simply just, again, missing it, we're missing each other, then you have to go through the process of working through that. And so some of it is like what you said, you mentioned, avoiding having to be right, and I think we get stuck there so much. We get stuck in the cycle of, I'm right. you know, and that becomes another whole issue that we begin to fight about. But we also have to remember to focus on how we feel.
Yeah.
Right? Focus on what we're feeling. Like I said, in the scenario that happened right before we went live tonight, you know, my feelings were, you know, oh no, he didn't. Is it really? Oh, he's gonna really look at this woman and compare her to me? Now he didn't even compare her to me at all. But again, I'm listening at how he said what he said, and I interpreted it because of my own feeling. Because again, I often, you know, I see my difference. You know, I'm more fluffy in certain areas, and so I am. I see you smiling. Okay, and you know, so when that happens, you know, I there's something that we look at. We're like, wow, I used to be able to wear a size, you know, oh, I used to, you know, and so that was my personal feeling. So I have to be willing to focus on, okay, that's not what he said, but I actually have to focus on my feeling, how it made me. Not it, it didn't even make me
not
feel.
to even project.
It was just my personal, how I was feeling about me.
Right.
And it's a wrestle within my own self. And those are some of those underlying feelings that we have. I call them undercurrent in relationships, right? Where we have certain things that we may not be saying all the time, but that we're feeling. Mm-hmm. And then it becomes a part of an issue. And before you know it,
here we are.
You're
having a situation, you're having a conflict, right? Now, in the conflict, you can take the time to, you know, deal with it or take a break, right? Mm-hmm. These are some things that we deal with in conflict resolution, or whatever. Or calling Eric, having Eric and Elaine on speed dial. Calling Eric and Elaine, or going to the website, ericandelaine.com. To help you resolve the conflict and come to some shared meaning. Some shared understanding of what you're saying. But again, there's an old saying that familiarity breeds contempt, right? And sometimes we can get, and we just expect somebody to know. But every time Elaine had a child, she was a different person. And she didn't have a child by herself. It was a child with me. Right? So we were both different people.
Absolutely.
And perspective changed, and so on and so forth. And so taking that time you'll realize that there are some times that you all can be really saying the same things when it comes to issues. Not just, you know, the miscommunication where you're telling you're trying to share something with someone and they misunderstood you. For instance, like the I want a boat thing. Right, I told Elaine, you know, hey, I'd like to get a boat one day and everything.
You did.
And I was telling her about it, and this is after.
What color was the boat, by the way?
That's what I was going to go into. This is after.
Tell the people.
I just got a red truck. I just got a red F-150 Super Crew pickup with 22-inch wheels and all this other good stuff.
Yes.
Beautiful truck, right?
Y'all heard what he said. Beautiful truck, right?
Beautiful truck.
Okay.
She wouldn't let me name it Big Red Sexy. I wanted to call it Big Red Sexy. Instead, she gave me a red pillow to hang on the rearview mirror that said Mr. Right on one side. That's the side that faced out. But the side on the inside said Mrs. Right.
Mrs. Always.
Mrs. Always Right. That's right. The child remembered. She remembered it.
Hey,
so
listen.
If you got a red truck, big red sexy red truck, well, a big red truck, you don't want to tow a turquoise boat. It just don't make sense. Get the red boat with the red trailer to match your red truck.
This is a man thing. This is definitely a man thing.
Okay. And that's a part of some things as far as miscommunications. The way women communicate is different than the way men communicate.
Absolutely true. Yes.
And women are very articulate in all these things. We can say, hey, I'm good.
We use a lot of words.
And I'm good.
And
I don't have to say I'm sitting here within myself, I'm thinking and I'm actualizing my inner thoughts that are deep down within me, no, I'm good. I don't have to.
As simple as that.
So here it is. I'm telling her we didn't have shared meaning on a boat. So I take a picture of the boat and send her the picture in the text. Okay, we'll talk about texting later. In the text, then she like,
I told him when he sent the picture, I said, "This ain't a boat. This is a ship." Because where I'm from, Third Ward, on the good side, next door to the Washateria, we don't see ships or boats. We didn't see much of that going on. Okay, so when you say boat, I'm thinking of a boat like roll your boat gently down the stream. You know, I'm not equating it to life on the water, right? He shows me this. What was it? Because how many feet was it?
It was only a 19-foot Tahoe with a 6-cylinder onboard
That's a ship.
engine.
A ship.
8 people can ride. It's 8 of us. I was like, we could all ride. You know, the girls were smaller. You know, we could all ride.
Okay, so y'all know when you grow up poor, right, or Baroque. Okay, when you grow up Baroque, you can fit 95 people in a 2-bedroom. Okay, if you've been there, you know what I'm saying, right? So you saying a 19-footer with 8 people. I'm seeing we could fit about 30-some people on that 19-footer.
No,
I'm just this is just my
yes,
my interpretation.
So
from my experience and past.
Needless to say, besides the red situation, because I won't even go into the red motorcycle I showed her or whatever. But anyway, just besides it being a red bolt, it's like, dude, we're not doing it. And it could have been an issue. It could have been an issue because this is text. Anybody be doing them text battles?
Oh, text.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. It could have been a situation.
That has gotten a lot of people in situations of total miscommunication.
Yes.
And why is that?
Well, you know, some of the things I think we need to do, we realize one of the biggest things that we make a mistake of in this communication situation, that we're really not communication. We're talking at each other. We're talking about bills. We're talking about the children. We're talking about going to the school for meet the teacher. We're talking about
problems.
You know, just different things. You know, please take out the trash, baby. Can you please take out the trash? You know, don't leave your socks in let the toilet seat down. It's like, wait a minute, it's equal opportunity here. When you get off the thing, you lift the seat up. Then, you know.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna start.
And
so they don't take that time. You don't have that. You need to take the time to actually communicate with each other about hopes and dreams.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Spend that time to develop the shared meaning.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know,
and realize that you're not each other's enemy, right?
Right.
You're actually each other's ally. Like I know, and this goes or ties into what we mentioned earlier, another tool is to assume goodwill. So basically, you know, in how I see Eric's actions or Eric's words toward me, how many times do I think that Eric is really out to hurt my feelings? If the person that you know and you love, do you really think that they're waking up and they're saying, how can I just really work on her nerves, just walk all over her nerves, walk on top of her nerves, right? How can I upset her and make her whole day ruined, right? That's not normally the intention. Now, if you are in a relationship like that, October is still Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we do want you to make sure that you reach out to Eric and Elaine, and we'll hand you and make sure that you get some resources. But in normal, healthy relationships, right, that is not the intention of each other, right? Each person. You're actually wanting the best for each other. So I have to be able to assume goodwill and realize that Eric is not out to hurt me. He's not out to get me. And he's not my enemy.
Hands down.
We're actually each other's allies. So I have to dispel those negative thoughts.
Yes.
That's my issue.
Yes.
And I think so many times in relationships, we bring our own baggage and issues.
Right.
And it causes us to see each other, especially in moments of where miscommunication is applied or happens. We are really trying to find our way and figure it out.
Right.
And that's not always a good time to be trying to learn on the fly.
Right. Especially, when you strike a nerve, there's triggers. There are triggers. Knowing your triggers.
Yeah.
To take the time to know your triggers.
Yeah.
And know and then, like she said, as far as going in and seeing what your feelings are, even men, see what your feelings are and why you feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are those things? We were talking about a particular relationship that I looked up to when I was a kid. And later on in life, I was like, how did I get that? I don't even know how I got that, considering, when I got older, I realized that it was a dysfunctional marriage.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I take that back. When I was a teenager, I was recognizing how toxic the relationship was. But I looked up to that particular relationship. I was like, man, what in the world? What
Yeah. And I did the same thing, when we both were talking about our childhood, and those things were coming out. We were like really recognizing that the relationships that we were seeing were not healthy, right? And so it formed certain thought processes in us and how we looked at relationships. But that's why this is important. That's why we want you to share this video, right? Because we just are all in this together, and many of us have never had a relationship course. We've never had anyone to sit down and talk to us or to tell us, how to properly communicate. And instead of saying this, say this. Instead of doing this, do this instead. And so it's important that we are able to recognize and equip one another and help one another.
Hands down. Through
the process.
Hands down. Yes. So let's shift gears. There are a couple of things that we need to talk about for you to be prepared for in the days ahead. Is that National Marriage Week? It's gonna. Well, let me do this. Did you have anything else that you want to share?
No.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, good. You put on time. It's 4:44. Is there anything? Okay, cool beans. So we have National Marriage Week that's coming up.
Gosh, already.
And it is February 7th through the 14th. And we look forward to having a wonderful National Marriage Week. This will be our second annual National Marriage Week. We have a lot of great things in store. Hoping things stay open. That way we can see each other live.
Yes.
We can see each other live.
Yes.
This is a 7-night actually it's a 6-night because on the 14th we don't get. We don't get together on the 14th, but from the 7th till the 13th, we'll be, doing something somewhere. Okay, so you want to be a part of that, and it's all about developing a positive relationship culture in our community.
Yes,
we're facing a lot. We're facing a lot of different things. Things that are happening. We're going to shift some gears and go into some of the things as far as preparedness in your relationship. How you two can be, when we're in a situation of uncertainty, it's hard for us to deal with our own self sometimes, much less deal with somebody else that's trying to regulate their own emotions and so on and so forth. Yeah. Somebody needs to be calm in the relationship. So if you visit these areas, beforehand and be prepared for them.
Yeah.
There's another freeze. If you're here in Texas and there's another freeze and our grid hadn't been, not to my knowledge that our grid has been revamped and renewed. They're still fighting up in Washington about, this infrastructure bill. So meanwhile, as for me and my house, there's some things that we have to consider in order for us to be safe and to have all that our family needs, in one regard or the other. So we got National Marriage Week. We got our anniversary, February 18th, coming up.
Yay.
We got Black Marriage Day coming up in March, the third Sunday in March. It's a lot in store, y'all. It's a lot in store.
Absolutely.
It's a lot in store.
Absolutely. And we are all turning the page, right? We're turning the page from where we once were to where we actually are still striving to be. And if you are striving for better, healthy relationships, right? Those resilient relationships, because how many of you want your relationship to be resilient? Because we're always facing something as you turn on your television, as you have a conversation with your coworker or your neighbor, right? We all are talking about something else because there's something else happening in our world. And those things that are happening around us are actually affecting us. Right. So we want to see those beautiful relationships that are still, standing strong to continue. And so the resiliency is important. So if you are definitely a person that you're saying, hey, I support and I want to support in any way that I can, how to, continue the mission with Eric and Elaine of really bringing and creating positive, healthy, resilient relationships in our community and making that a culture, meaning making it the norm.
Yes.
Because so many times it's not.
That's right.
And so let's turn the page on what, like I said, where we once were to where it is that we actually really want to go and really want to be.
That's right. And we pass those things down to our children as best we can.
Yes.
We may not see it happen today with all that's going on in the world today. However, let's pay it forward to the generation to come.
Yes.
And everything. So, man, it was. I forgot this one piece about the profanity. We'll come back to it.
Everybody's wondering, what does profanity have to do with
miscommunication? Miscommunication. And I'll say that one for poor communication. And we'll look into the definition of profanity, profane, so on and so forth. I wrote a book back in the day called What You Talking About? Cuss or Curse. And
good read.
Yeah, too bad it's not available. We lost it.
I had a chance to peek at it.
In 2001. Yeah, we lost it. But anyway, didn't lose me. I know what I need to go and reproduce.
Yes, you can do it. Yeah. You can redo it. You can even make it better than it was before.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
with if I knew now what I knew then. If I knew then what I if I knew then what I know now. How you gonna miscommunicate with your own self? What in the world?
Okay, that's a whole nother lesson right there. Because sometimes that even happens.
I said to myself, self said, huh?
Don't you do it, Mr. Brown. Don't you do it. Yes.
So anyway, look. We're glad to be here with you guys.
Thank you for allowing us to be of service.
We didn't have many comments right now, simply because I think everybody's used to, and I put it in there, and maybe I should have said it a couple of weeks before see.
Yeah, that's one of those things that
miscommunication.
That sometimes one of us tries to help with that, but anyway.
Yes. Okay. All right. Anyway, so Elaine mentioned we're gonna close out with again this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And we have, I want to give you guys these resources. As you see on the screen, the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. That's that link. And then we have the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Okay, for you, if you find yourself in a constant life of perpetual miscommunication with your partner, where it turns violent, or violent not only physical but mental, verbal, and leads into other behaviors. These are some resources that you want. We also have ABDA. We have ABDA here in Houston and the Houston Area Women's Center, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. There's several resources and agencies for you to go to should you need those resources. So hands down, reach out to us. Go to the website. Again, everybody here on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share, the subscribe, and the notification bell so that you get notified when we go live. Share this video with friends and family. Anybody you care about, you love, you want to impact their lives, share this video with them.
Yes. Right? And we want to say thank you too. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you to all the support that we've received from Instagram, social media, Facebook, YouTube, all of those platforms, right? Thank you for your support because we're continuing to grow. And that's what we want. And it's not for any other reason other than y'all were in this together. And our relationships are able to reform.
Yes, they are.
And so we can do this together. We can actually create a positive culture.
Why this is Heal Thy Relationship.
Yeah, our series that we are going to continue, because this is what we see and this is what we know that can actually be more common and more familiar in our history.
Hands down. There was one more thing that I said I was going to share. Boy, what in the world is happening?
Anyways, let me get off of here.
All this great hair,
and
these ladies.
Yes, it's been a long day.
All these ladies,
but it's beautiful. So if you can think of it, babe,
we'll come back.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I want to, in the comments, share your funny miscommunication stories. We love to hear them.
And even if it's not funny, like something that you have experienced and you've learned a lesson from it, right? From a miscommunication that you've had. Share what you learned from that.
Comment, go in the comments, share those things, and any topics that you want to learn about and want to know about. If you like this content, let us know. All right. If you want to have some, continue to get these things on relationships, content on relationships, let us know in the comments. All right. With that, I'm your country boy.
And your city girl.
Eric and Elaine, your relationship architects. We're signing off. Peace and many blessings. Yes.
Do we have something? No. Okay.
All right. See y'all later. See y'all next week.